Climbed and Rated, a brand new series where I'll be cycling up some of the most famous and challenging climbs the UK has to offer. Today we start off in the Lake District. Hardknott Pass. This is the main attraction for cyclists in the Lake District and the main event of the famous Fred Whitton Challenge, which for 2025 is less than 2 months away. You know you're at the start of this climb once you see the famous red box and the 30% road sign, but there is no working phone in there, so there's no chance to phone for an SOS. This climb is just under 1.5 miles long and averages 13%, with a max gradient of 33% towards the end on the brutal single track hairpin bends. So many cyclists focus on the 33% hairpins near the end, and I don't blame them, it's brutal, but they don't realise the start underneath the trees is almost as brutal, hitting 25% by the cattle grid, so there's no time to ease yourself into this climb. You gotta get straight to work. The gradient halves to the low teens by the mini car park, but the road rears up again as you start hitting multiple steep bends on this 2,000-year-old Roman road. This Roman road was first built back in AD 2, and with some of the potholes and bumps you'll have to contend with on your way up this monster climb, you'll think that this road hasn't been touched since AD 2. The first third of this climb there is no real let up. Multiple sections over 25% and averages 16.5%. But the road does ease up in the middle third, with the gradient dropping down to an average of 8%. By no means easy, but in comparison to what you've just cycled up and what is to come later on, your legs will be grateful for the easier work. During this intermission, you'll pass a car park on your left, which is for visitors for the ruin and remains of the Roman fort. This is also a signal that the insanely steep final third is very soon about to start. The idea of cycling up this section of road after 97 miles during the Fred Whitton Challenge is truly terrifying, averaging 17% and a max gradient of 33%. I'm going to play you the full effort I did up these 33% hairpins back in last summer.
Come on, Valerie, come on! Concentrate, just get to that bend. There we go. This steep bend done.
If you haven't done your research properly, you'll be mistaken to think that the hard work is now done. So many fail past the bend on this unrelenting slope to the summit. From here, it averages 15% and reaches over 20% on multiple occasions. Each pedal stroke is going to hurt here, but the end is in sight now. When the gradient finally goes back to single digits and you see a pile of rocks on your left, you have survived and reached the summit of England's most famous and notorious climb, a rite of passage, a great story to share on the club ride at the calf stop. Right, now it's time to rate this climb out of 20. We have 4 categories worth 5 points each. The 4 categories are difficulty, scenery, ride environment and satisfaction. Difficulty. Now this may surprise you, but personally I don't think it's quite a 5 out of 5 difficulty. Now hear me out. The reason why I think that is that gap in the middle where it's a little bit easier. Gives you time to catch your breath back, recharge your legs a little bit, go very easy, giving you time to recover, ready for the steep finish. If it wasn't for that little gap, easy decision would be 5 out of 5. But with that little gap, 4.5 out of 5. Scenery. Hardknott Pass delivers hard on scenery. It has a bit of everything. Starting off in the small wooded area, then you exit via the cattle grid and you've got towering green slopes in every direction you look as you ascend to the summit. Then when you reach the top, you've got the epic valley in the distance between Hardknott Pass and Wrynose Pass, and you must stop and look back where you've came from. Easy decision. 5 out of 5. Ride environment. Forgetting the crazy gradients, which is not part of this category, this is a difficult road to ride up. It's a single track road, which makes it difficult to navigate cars which brave their clutches on this road. The road surface is very bumpy and has a fair amount of potholes, but this isn't a high speed road, which is a plus. I'll give this 2.5 out of 5. Satisfaction. This climb delivers in satisfaction. You feel like you're David beating Goliath in a stunning Roman garden. The sheer volume of hard work and effort to complete it is totally worth it at the top. The effort matches the reward of the scenery and the story of the journey. As soon as I reached the top, I was already mentally planning my next ride here, which is the Fred Whitton on May the 11th, 2025. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that vlog. This is another easy decision, 5 out of 5. Adding up these 4 scores gives Hardknott Pass a rating of 17 out of 20. A high score and a great way to start this new series, climbed and rated. When I've made more videos in this series, I'll create a league table to track which climbs are competing at the top for the title, but also which climbs are fighting to avoid the wooden spoon at the bottom of the table. Leave a comment with your rating of Hardknott Pass and also which climbs you would like me to climb and rate in this series. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Two Wheels.